Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Devin Martinez.
And I'm Jerry Salazar.
And welcome to Success-oholic.
In today's video, we're going to cover how we were able to get 100 appointments in 30 days.
We're going to cover things like scripting, lead generation, effective follow-up, and a lot of other things in order to help you build your business and convert leads at the highest level. Stay tuned. All of the things we're going to compile in this video are tried and true methods that me and Jerry have learned in our years of real estate that have helped us be successful in our business.
So the first thing we're going to jump right into is scripting.
So when it comes to scripting, people tend to get a little turned off by that. People don't really like to script. Why is that? It's because typically when you get handed a script, you start reading it and then it winds up sounding ingenuine. It doesn't sound genuine at all. But little do we know, we've been using scripts since we were first able to talk. What do you think that script was? The ABCs, right? So, being that you knew the ABCs, what did you have to do? You had to learn from A to Z. You had to repeat that cycle all the way through school until you could learn to form sentences, paragraphs, and everything of the sort. So scripting is just that same way. With the right habits and the right repetition, you're going to be able to learn scripts and turn it into your personality, just like we have.
When it comes to scripting, what you're really doing is you're memorizing what exactly to say whenever you're hit with an objection, when you don't know how to handle a certain situation. What happens is you're not looking in your head for the answer anymore. You automatically know from studying the scripts. And what that does, it allows you to actively listen to the conversation.
Getting into active listening, right? When you're actively listening, you're actually paying attention to what these people are saying. Most of the time, I hear agents in the office, it's like they're not even listening to what the person is saying. They just want to get to the next question. Oh, do you have financing? Oh, is this your first time buying a house? It's like while the person is talking, the person on the other line is thinking of what's the next thing am I going to say?
So why is it so important to actively listen? It's important because it makes the conversation sound way more natural. You got to think about it. Whenever you don't practice your scripts, you're going to sound very robotic on the phone. You're going to sound unnatural. You're going to sound a little bit weird, but that's just because you haven't practiced enough. And I guarantee you, once you practice enough, you're going to sound very natural when you're speaking to the prospects on the phone.
So moving forward, what are the tips that we can give you in order to create an effective script in a real estate conversation? We're going to run some examples by you. So the first thing is know your audience. Knowing your audience in a real estate conversation is going to be paramount, especially when talking to buyers. When you're talking to a buyer, is this person an investor, a first-time home buyer, an experienced home buyer? Usually, typically, when I'm on a call, that's the first thing I'm going to do is identify if they are one of these three things. Are they an investor? Are they a first-time home buyer? Or are they an experienced home buyer? Because if I find out which one of these they fall under, what will end up happening is I end up creating a line of questioning that'll suit them more. An experienced home buyer is not going to want to hear the same questions that you give a first-time home buyer. A first-time home buyer doesn't necessarily know the process most of the time. An investor, they're more about the numbers. They're more about analyzing a deal. So what kind of questions can I ask in order to help them analyze a deal better?
So on the other side of the spectrum, there's first-time sellers, experienced sellers, and investors. And knowing which one and which one to cater to is going to allow you to better assist them.
So that's knowing your audience. So now moving forward, number 2 is build the relationship. When you're actively listening, you're going to be able to build that relationship so much better.
What I like to do, I like to reach out to the prospect, get to know them a little bit more, right? Dig really deep and figure out what is their why. Why are they selling? Why are they buying? Why exactly are they doing what they want to do? That allows you to be more personable to them and start working on building that relationship.
So just a little technique, little tip is repeating things that they say back to you, right? Let's say the prospect says something like, I'm interested in the Bay Forest area. Oh, okay, so the Bay Forest area is important to you. Why is that, right? It puts in their head that you are listening.
Another technique we like to use is matching their energy, right? If you get a high D, which is a really assertive person, and they're straight to the point on the phone, what you want to do is match their energy. There's been plenty of times where I got a high D on the phone, right? And they're telling me, hey, I want this listing. Can you get me the price on it? I want to know what's the square footage, blah, blah, blah. I just match their energy. Awesome. I could definitely get that for you. Just give me a second and pull it up. What brought you to that area? You see how I matched their technique in the same tonality? I was able to keep up with him in the conversation. It allows you to, in a sense, they're able to better understand you and calm down a little bit and get on the same playing field.
And it also goes the same way with the low energy person, right? Someone calls and just says, hey, I was really interested in this property and I was just wondering exactly what do I need to do to get into it. And at that point, I'm not going to approach it like, oh yeah, I can absolutely help you with that, right? No, it's going to scare them away. I want to match that energy. I want to go down to her level and slowly bring her up. So I'm going to get down there and be like, oh yeah, no problem. I can absolutely help you with that. And just get into the conversation.
After you get your scripting done, you practice it a lot, we're going to jump into lead generation.
Now, when it comes to lead generation, contact is everything. How are we going to make contact to these leads? Now, especially expireds, FSBOs, random leads that you get from places like HomeLight, HAR, your local MLS, signed calls, any referral service that you signed up for, right? They're going to send you leads and you have to contact these people. So how are we going to do that? Are we going to cold call? Are we going to email outreach? Are we going to do an SMS campaign? How are we going to do that? Now, the first thing I want to talk about is cold calling.
Cold calling is one of the best ways to get in contact with the client. You don't know what exactly they're doing, how their life is going throughout the day. So you want to make sure you reach out multiple times if you haven't been able to get that first initial contact.
Now, a little standard in our office is you call 3 times. If they don't answer on the 3rd call, you finally leave a voicemail. After the 1st call, you send a text message. After the 2nd call, you send an email. And on the 3rd call, we leave the voicemail. It's a standard procedure in our office on when we're cold calling clients. Now, don't get this idea that, oh, I'm bugging them. No, at the end of the day, certain leads, especially ones that we get, especially from our referral services or anything like that, these people raise their hand for the most part. Now, if it's a cold call such as like a seller, a person, maybe an expired or a for sale by owner, those are a little different. But at the end of the day, they still want to sell their home.
You have to think to yourself, who is someone that you wouldn't mind receiving a call on a daily basis? Your son, your mother, your father? I mean, you wouldn't mind because they're bringing value to your life. Same thing with us. If you're coming from a place of value, they're going to be more than happy to have that conversation with you. You just have to have that right mindset whenever you're reaching out to them.
And that's a thing we see too many times in the real estate industry is people are just too scared to make the call. You know, that phone ends up weighing 10,000 pounds for some reason. But in order to make your business really work, the lead generation is the engine that runs your business. That's going to be the thing that feeds you and your family for years and years to come. That's going to be the thing that builds your pipeline, not just these occasional calls that you get of people that are just ready to go. No, I want to reach people that are ready a year from now so that they can feed my family next year. I want to reach those people that are going to be ready in 10 years because I'm definitely going to still be in this industry and I want my family to be fed in 10 years, right? So don't be afraid to pick up that phone and talk to someone that's not necessarily ready right now and maybe ready in the future, because building that relationship right now is going to help you when they are ready. And also in between then, you can probably pull some referrals out of that. Don't you agree?
Exactly, Devin. It's going to be difficult at first, right? Whenever you're reaching out to these prospects, it's going to be hard for you because it's a new challenge, right? But I like to use the analogy of riding a bike. You know, you're not going to succeed right away. Sometimes you're going to fall, scrape your knee, but what your success depends on whether you get back on the bike or not. Are you going to get back on the bike, or are you going to allow that one failure to keep you from learning how to ride that bike? So another tip for first contact is speed to lead. As soon as you receive the lead in your system, in your database, wherever, right? You want to reach out as soon as possible. Reason being, they'll lose interest real quick. Let's be honest, right? If we're not able to get service in one store, we're real quick to go to another one, whatever store offers the best service. Same thing with leads. You want to make sure you reach out to them as soon as possible and are able to help them right away. So the common misconception when it comes to receiving a lead, right? A lot of people think as soon as they get a lead, it's going to be hot and ready. They're going to be ready to purchase or sell right away. But that's not always the case. You have to realize that these are real people with real world problems. They're scared too. You have to look at it from their perspective and always have empathy for them whenever you're helping them throughout the process.
Another thing we see all the time is, and this is something that like me and Jerry love when we're calling people is when we get on the phone with somebody and let's say they say, "Oh, Devin, I have bad credit. Why I don't think I can get a house." Well, do you know your credit score? Have you checked with the mortgage lender? Have you checked with the financial institute? Do you know exactly where your credit sits? And most of the time, about 85% of the time they don't, right? So what's wrong with just meeting with this person and seeing if they can qualify? And if they don't, perfect. At least they're with somebody that can help them get on the right track, figure out what they need to do, and you just help them. You just help them. You just help them get on the road to home ownership. And again, that'll be the point that will help them whenever they are ready. The first person they're going to think about is you.
And what that does, what you're doing right now is building a relationship with the prospect. You're helping them out. And what they're going to do, they're going to tell their family members, they're going to tell their friends about you, all the great service you did. And that's how your business grows.
So now that you've already made this great first contact with this person, whether they're ready right now or ready in the future, 10, 20 years from now, you made great first contact. Now what? They're not ready right now. So what are we going to do? Are you going to write them down in your calendar? Are you going to put them down in your CRM as a task? The best thing to help these people that are not ready right now, ready in months from now, is going to be follow up.
It's always so important to follow up. You have to stay on tabs on with your clients. You have to make sure that they feel comfortable with you throughout their whole process. Like I said in the past, they're real people with real problems. So you have to make sure they feel comfortable. A lot of the things that I like to do whenever I'm following up with clients is I don't even mention real estate. I just reach out to them. Hey, what's going on? This is Jerry. Just want to see how you're doing. And I hope you have a great day. Leave it at that. Nice and simple.
And if you have any sort of email campaigns, I'm sure a lot of agents have their own templated emails. Send them a Merry Christmas card over email. Send them a happy birthday if you happen to catch their birthday. Send them New Year's, Thanksgiving, all of the holidays, right? The holidays are awesome for just sending a quick reminder to let them know you're there. And then a quick call. A basic rule of thumb, just to give you a kind of how we kind of run our business is if a prospect is ready from 0 to 3 months, let's say they run between that time that they're going to be ready to do business, we're going to contact them at least twice a week, whether it's an email, text message, or call. It's going to be 2 forms of contact once a week, right? And then for a 3 to 6 month, we're doing it about once a week, 1 form of contact, whether that's email, call, and we try to knock out at least 3. We try to knock out 3 of those, at least 1 of each in those ones. So 3 to 6 months. Now, 6 months to a year, that's about once a month. Once a month, we're trying to make a good phone call with them and send them any emails that pertain to what's going on. Maybe send them market updates, let them know the trends in the mortgage industry right now. Anybody a year plus, we want to just contact them every so often. Maybe it's every 2 months. Maybe if it's every other month. Maybe it's 3 times a year. You don't know. But at least keep in touch with them in front of them so that they remember your name. If they have your name saved in their phone number, oh my gosh, that is the biggest win that you could ask for on a prospect that is not ready right now or in the future.
What I like to do personally, right? I like to send them a quick email, just an email about the whole buying process, right? Explaining it. I send them a text the next day, let them know, hey, just sent you an email with some information. Check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Nice and simple, right? You want to make sure every time you're following up, you're coming from a place of value and you're bringing value to the table.
And on top of that, of course, if you're like us, we make real estate videos, not just for real estate agents or business owners. We also make videos for our clients. If you have a video that you want to send over to your clients, send it over to them. Maybe you're talking about the market update. For us, we talk about market trends. We talk about how you can save money in buying a house. We send those videos to our buyers. We send sellers videos on how markets in certain areas are going. If you have those videos as a real estate agent or real estate professional, send those videos to people. People watch them. And then when they watch them, that builds more value and credibility onto you.
And always work on your social media. You could also send them links to your social media. Let's say a TikTok video you did about the buying process, a TikTok video you did about the loan process. It definitely assists you and you're able to send that video to even that client or multiple others. It's just another avenue for you to start reaching out to your clients and making sure they get all the information possible.
And if you're not sending it to them, best believe they're watching someone else's video. That's going to be business that could have been in your pocket.
One thing I did want to warn you guys about is having commission breath. You don't want to seem to the client like all you're chasing is the appointment or the commission check. You're just, what you want to focus on is building that relationship.
You know, the commission check is a byproduct of building a great relationship. When you build that great relationship, that one piece of business can multiply into 10 pieces of business.
Exactly.
Automatically, just because of the relationship that that client had with you. And that goes for all of my investors, all of my buyers and sellers these days. You know, the amount of referrals that we can pull into our business just because of the relationship, the impact, the value that we brought to the table helps so much in building a business. So with all of the things that me and Jerry have talked with you today, these are the traits that we have been using for years and years now, and that is how we got 100 appointments in 30 days. We're actually going to share our story on the 100 appointments in 30 days, going step by step how we got the appointments, whether it was 2 this day, 3 that day. We're going to break it down to the minute details.
And I'm telling you guys, it was a process. It took a while for us to get to that point, but just like anything else, we had to get used to the habit of lead generating every single day.
So get out there, build your habits, do the repetition, do the hard work. The guys in the trenches are the ones that get the most business because we are out there making the calls, going door knocking, sending the letters, sending the emails, sending the videos, making content. These are the things that are going to help drive your business, put the gas in that engine, and get your business rolling off the highway. So if you're a real estate professional, whether that's an agent or investor, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button if you like this video, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified on all the videos we post. Me and Jerry are going to post a video a week explaining strategies and all the different things that help us succeed in real estate.
All right, stay tuned, guys. Thank you for watching.